So hi, Welcome to Growers Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Carl, and we're part of the band OBEYER.
There are some questions here about the upcoming album Chemical Well, so congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Super positive. It's been a surprise, especially in the YouTube comments, which are typically pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been pretty kind to us, so yeah, everything's been really positive and super excited to get Chemical Well out.
Hell yeah. If the YouTube comments are on your side, that's how you know you got a good product in your hands.
Exactly. That's the win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the biggest surprise, man. Like Carl said, like you usually just get shredded, like you can do nothing wrong, and you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, the album is fucking awesome. We got to hear it early.
Fucking insane. Yeah, ass ripper or however it goes. I don't know. One of those. It's fucking crazy.
Ass
It will take it, yeah.
Ass
Yeah, I love
shaker. I
ripping
don't know.
ass.
It's great. Yeah.
They've had all sorts of names through the years, so yeah, just call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. As long as you're enjoying it, that's the main thing.
Exactly. It's a positive. It's a positive. I love it. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Album title, yeah, for sure. It's a bit ironic that we're a new band and we've had to like push on socials and do the social media thing. That's what the album is about. Essentially, it's about social media, and I'm a participant of it. And I'm on social media and active on social media, etc. But I think having everything available to you at all times at your fingertips, as great as it is, I can sit here and chat to you guys on the other side of the planet, and I can connect with people and find people that are interested in the same thing as me. But yeah, that obviously comes with negatives as well, and how it affects people's opinions on life and how it should be, and just their expectations on things. So yeah, writing the lyrics was pretty easy because you can scroll for 10 minutes and get pissed off. So it was pretty easy to come up with the lyrical sort of content for the album, or the ideas at least for it. So yeah, Chemical Well is essentially about the screen that you're looking in, and how it can affect your day and how it can change your mood and affect things and everything that goes on behind the screen. So yeah, we're all sort of tied to a particular chemical well at any one time, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn right.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
It was long. So we I don't know how much you know about us. We've been a band for over 10 years now, basically, and we'd like come off the back of we had an album out under a previous name, and we weren't very happy with it. Basically, we didn't stand by it. And so we were very introspective. We were just like, right, where has this gone wrong for us? So we really just put in the graft just to learn how to write songs better, because we would commonly get told like you're so much better live than you are on your recordings.
Yeah.
So we're like, right, so how do we fix this? So we must have chucked out like 2 or 3 albums worth of material over the years, just like trying to just improve, find the right sound that we wanted to continue with. Because I think also, so Carl joined in about halfway through when we wrote our album in the previous band, and I think it shows. I think that the music doesn't really gel very well with his vocal style. So we were just taking the time really just to learn to work better with each other and become more of a cohesive unit. So yeah, we were chucking out a lot of stuff. We would have like a set list of songs that we would play at practice. Like there'd be 6 or 7 songs at a time, and then we'd write another one, and then we're like, oh, that's loads better than that one. So that like it would just become a carousel basically. With like one comes on and the next one comes off, and but at some point we sort of just had to go like, we got to put a stop to this because we can't, six songs doesn't make an album. So we also think we probably would have had an album recorded in 2020 if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah.
And it was probably a blessing in hindsight because we were able to take stock again. And then we went and recorded a test single with a new producer, which ended up being Witness, which is the first song on the album, which we were really happy with, and that was really a blueprint to go back, finish writing the album, And then we also had some pre-production time with the producer, and we took a lot of tools away from that, really, about, again, improving the songwriting.
Mhm.
So yeah, at that point we were probably still chucking songs away still a little bit, but then as the days counted down and the deadline was approaching to get into the studio, we're like, right, this is what we've got. How do we bring it all together at the last moment?
Mhm.
So there was a lot of last minute rewrites and things like that. And even in the studio, there's like the last song on the album, A Slow Shift to a Cold Shiver, that really came together like in the 11th hour, really.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the writing process. It's yeah, we're not prolific songwriters. It's taken a long time, but that's it basically.
God damn. So
Yeah.
your process for this album was basically taking your sound and breaking it down, gutting it, and basically just continuously trying to build it back up again and trying to find your definitive sound
Over the
Yeah,
course of
that's
10
that's
years?
over the course of 10 years?
no, no, not 10 years. So our album in the previous band came out in 2015.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say that we've been writing since then. I think, like, honestly, probably like 2018. I think
Okay.
there's yeah, songs on the album that we've recorded, I think would, is that fair, Carl? Go back to like
Yeah,
2018.
yeah, they were forming. There's ideas that were being chucked around then that have ended up on the album for sure. I'm not sure if there's any full songs from then. Witness was the one that sort of changed everything when we first wrote that. Like Jamie said, we chucked so many songs away, and then when Witness came along as a song, and it came together really, really easily and really quickly, and was just different to what we'd done, and the stuff we'd been chucking away. And then that was just like, right, I think we found it. I think we
Mhm.
found sort of where we can go with this sound, and there's enough scope here to explore. So we'll just continue with this. So yeah, Witness was the game changer, really. And that, yeah, probably the ideas for that sort of came around in like, yeah, sort of 2018, late 2018.
God
Gotcha.
damn. Wow. So when you guys did finally strike gold with Witness, did you guys have like a third party that you sent it over to? Like, are we, still in our little circle, or was it just kind of everyone coming to the same agreement of, yeah, no, this is the sound we should explore?
We,
One of
we actually
the
discussed this,
Sorry.
didn't we, Jamie? We discussed it at our last practice session. I don't know how common it is for bands to get in a room anymore every week and jam their music out. You hear a lot of bands being spread across the country and sending ideas across through Dropbox or whatever that might be. So I
Mhm.
don't know how common that is anymore. But that's like, it's every week we get together and we're in a room and we write the music together. Tweaks are made outside of that, but like the bulk of the writing is done in the room together. We
Mhm.
get to tell each other whether we think the idea is shit or whether it's good, and we sort of go from there. And that's kind of how we operate and how we always have operated. So yeah,
Yeah.
why
but
change?
but in terms of the third party, Carl's got a friend
Mhm.
uh that he would send demos to, and he's been strangely prophetic about like everything that's how he's like, I love this, and you need to do more of this, but etc. But then he would say like, what was the phrase he said? He's like, "What have you done, Carl?" And then he was like, "This is going to happen if you send it to these people. This will happen," and everything that he said has like come true. He's like our
Shit.
oracle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so yeah. To answer your question, there is a third party. His name's David Chettle.
Shout out David. Yeah. That's
Daniel
good.
Chettle.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man.
Shout out
He just
Daniel.
gets
Love that.
he just gets called Chet usually. So yeah, shout out to Chet.
That's how. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
Chet.
it was David.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's wonderful. So, what song off the album took the longest to write, and then which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Slow shift
Um,
at the longest. For sure, it was changed last minute, right?
yeah. So the last song on the album. That was that was one that had been kicking around for a long time. We might have even like written that on six string to start with, and it had undergone so many cuts and changes over the years. And I think the other three guys wanted to get rid of the song basically, but I kept saying no. There's something here. There's something here.
Yeah.
And then up to like days before going to the studio, I was like rewriting the song,
Mhm.
and it was the last one that we all recorded our parts for because we weren't confident with it. And I went away one day to a wedding, and I came back in, and Carl looks up at me and he goes, "Sam's fixed your song." So that was the producer. He
Yeah.
literally just like he chucked out like the second half of this song, and he was like, "You don't need all this. You've got the parts here." So
Mhm.
but basically the song never used to have any repeating parts. It started at A and ended up at like X or whatever. So
Yeah.
so he gave it more of an A B sort of structure.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was the one that took the longest. So sorry, what was the other part of the question?
Your
I've
personal
rambled for so
favorite.
the favorite.
Mhm.
I don't know. Have you got a favorite, Carl?
Um, yeah, I think Second Son. For me, that's always the direction I feel like I'm always pulling the guys towards. We all come from very different perspectives when we're writing music. I come from a lot of a heavier background, grew up like, more like into death metal and things like that, which is, vastly different to the other guys. Not that Second Son's a death metal song by any stretch of the imagination, but I was like, we need something that's just fuck you heavy, like
Mhm.
just no, no messing around, and that was kind of what happened. So I always love playing the intro to Second Son. Um, yeah, and I enjoyed writing lyrics to that. So yeah, I'd say Second Son.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Jamie.
Have you thought of one yet, Jamie?
No, but I was just thinking like the chuggy parts in Second Son. I almost wrote that ironically. It was just to shut Carl up basically. Like he's like, I want a song with chugs in it. So I'm like, here's your fucking chugs.
Yeah, take the chugs.
Like,
Yeah.
Take the chug, shove them up your ass.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Maybe a
then, Jamie?
momentary death. It
Nice.
never used to be my favorite one, but that's the one that I always enjoy playing now. Funny enough, that's probably one song where um I hadn't even finalized the guitar parts to it. Like I was so disinterested in that song. Like the other guys were like, "Oh, this is great, this is brilliant." I'm like, I haven't even finished writing the parts because I'm not into it.
Mhm.
But I think
Yeah.
once I sat down and actually got into it and I wrote the electronic parts and everything, then I think I heard what they were hearing
Mhm.
finally.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
So, how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be the closer, shuffle and see what fits? What was that process like?
I think slow shift was definitely like we always felt that had like a natural
Yeah.
ending feeling to it. But there was a lot of surprises after we got the masters back. So, for example, like I'd say Radiant was one of them tracks that we went into the studio with not very high expectations of it, and then like when we got the mix back on that, we were like, where did this song come from? Like this song just sounds completely different to what we were all expecting it to, like in the best possible way. And I think, yeah, the favorites just sort of made their way to the top. We chucked out a couple of tracks that we recorded as well. I'm happy with the album, like back to front. But we wanted to write something that felt like it had a good flow to it. Again, I'm not sure how many people sit down and listen to albums now from front to back, just the nature of the way that people consume music, which is, again, I'm part of that as well. But I do also enjoy listening to albums still. So we put thought into how the album flowed and, the ebb and flow of the album. And I still think that's important, even today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Respect
right.
bands that still put thought into album track orders, which is obviously why we asked the question, because you could just be like, it's a collection of songs and however it's sent to you when it's mastered is how it goes up on Spotify, and you couldn't give two fucks. But bands that put a little thought into that, respect the hell out of it in this day
Yeah,
and
there were
age.
even bits like in the very last session where like we were just doing guitar feedback. We were sort of like, right, how about if this song finished and there was like, a feedback crescendo and then it landed into the next song and things like that. And also the final track listing. That's not we had a track listing when we left the studio that we were all happy with, and then we checked out the masters over and over, and well, hang on a minute, actually this would be better if we ordered it this way. So it has changed about a bit. And like Carl said, there's another two songs that we tracked that have been chucked off the album, so that needed a rejig and everything. But yeah, definitely something that we felt was important, even if other people don't. We're definitely old school like that. Like I'm the same. I like listening to albums front to back. It's an experience basically, so
Yeah,
you want to get it right.
Absolutely.
exactly. Damn right. So, would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
I don't know really.
It's a tough one to answer because it wasn't a condensed writing period. Like these songs happened over such a long period of time. A couple of songs before COVID, then the pandemic and all the craziness that occurred with that, and then come back to it after COVID and get yourself back in the groove of writing. I think, like Jamie said, with the additions near the end before we went into the studio, we always had it on our mind that we wanted this to be a lot more cohesive, a lot more not sounding the same, but have a particular feel throughout it. So that was one of the things that we definitely considered throughout the entire writing process. But in terms of mindset, like our lives all dramatically changed in that time period. We've all got married and had children and things like that. So that brings a different perspective on things. And ultimately, our mindset when we write anything together is just to have fun and just write something that we enjoy hearing. And we get together every Sunday and do that. And what has come out has come out, and thankfully it's cohesive, and thankfully people enjoy it. And that's the big surprise, really, that we were just like just a bunch of guys from a small town in England that have written some songs that Periphery ended up listening to, which is mind blowing ultimately. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Jamie,
I
what
would
about you?
say like the like you said with the kids and mortgages, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
We've got a lot less time now, so it I would say it focused us, because before, when we're just 20 something guys with no responsibilities, like we're just sort of kicking about, having a laugh, jumping in our tour van and not really paying it, just watching the world go by basically. Whereas now there was definitely a now or never element to it this time. So we're like we can't just chuck some songs together. We've got to really think about this. We've got to get this right, because this might be the last time that we do this. But ultimately, and in terms of headspace, and me personally, like just stress. I find songwriting so stressful.
Oh.
So it was just yeah, I don't know if any of that comes through.
So what makes it so stressful for you? What's the big issue?
For me
telling everything to
personally,
chug, go faster, do everything better, do everything heavier. Like that's probably the source of stress at practice. Me and Jamie's right here just telling him to
yeah, we
play something.
butt heads a lot, you and I. But basically, so we all like, we write the songs together, as in we're all in the same room. But I write the music basically. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is three guys stood there looking at me whilst I'm just like, I don't know,
I got nothing.
I've got nothing. Yeah. So and then I have to come up with something. So that's the stressful element, and it's getting the. It's such a relief when, like, for example, the opening riff to like Second Son, like as soon as like they just come out, and I'm almost like, oh, thank God, I've got something we can work with here. So then when I've got that seed of relief, then I can sort of like, that blossoms, and then I've got something to work on then. But then once we've got like the bones of the song like laid out and everything, then I can relax. So like all of the leads and the dubs and stuff, like I would write those myself, like sat in front of the computer basically, and that's when I feel like I can actually be creative. Strangely, like like I said, the rest of it coming up with the main riffs and the structure and that, I find that like just a stressful experience for me, basically.
That's
That makes
completely
sense.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you paint that picture, I completely get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
No regrets at all. Making him stressed to do it. So,
No, I mean, because what, pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah.
there you go.
You know?
Hell
Come
yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on, his work album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
Oh, it's a solitary listen, isn't it? Surely it's quite dark and
Mhm.
cold, and yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it was party tunes. We went
No.
Carl.
It depends what party you're at. Funnily enough, like Second Son came out, and a guy that I work with who is like completely not into heavy music at all, just being that supportive guy that I'm following the band and I've listened to the song. And he came in one day and he's like, "Oh, I was doing a gym session and I put Second Son on." He's like, "I did that last set," and I was like, "All right, maybe it's a gym album then. Maybe people can lift weights to this." I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, everyone is so busy. Life is so busy now. I think, yeah, just listening to it. Listening to it when you're pissed off might be a good idea because it could probably release, yeah, some of those stresses. But
Mhm.
yeah, wherever people want to, we don't care. Like, let's just listen to our album, please. That's what
Yeah.
we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Exactly. Damn right. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total, no more, no less.
Atmospheric,
Okay.
dark,
Okay.
and I want to say challenging, but I don't want that to be one of my words because it's not like a prog album. So I don't want to say challenging, but like
Mhm.
I think it's I'm trying to think of the right word for that. Jesus, this is hard putting us on the spot like this. Yeah,
I've got
atmospheric.
nothing.
It's the fun part.
Yeah, atmospheric, dark, and I don't know, new maybe.
New.
That's good.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we'll go with Carl's. I got nothing. I really struggle on stuff like that. I'm just drawing blanks, man. Like that's
That's not an
that's not how
option.
my head works at all.
Don't do
You gotta any 3 words. Anything.
No.
Anything.
Phone a friend.
Atmospheric. And chugs, bow. There's a lot of that on the album.
Okay.
And then chugs.
There you
so
go.
All right, Chugs is making a second
Hell
appearance.
yeah. You pulled it together.
Mm.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Enjoyment. I want people to enjoy the album ultimately. Enjoy it. Is it 3 words again?
No.
Sorry, Shane.
No.
No.
As many words as you want. Yeah.
Yeah, enjoyment. I hope it makes people think. If they read the lyrics, I hope it has an impact in that sense. It's something that I enjoy doing is finding out what an album is about. You don't like to be sometimes too obvious with it. You like people to have their own opinions and be able to interpret the lyrics in a way that they see it. But there's definitely an overarching theme, so I hope that comes across as well. And just enjoyment more than anything else. Like we've wrote these songs, we just love heavy music, and we hope that other people can enjoy our brand of heavy music the way it's come out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Damn right. Great. And are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
Yeah, the positive is Sam, weren't it? Let's be honest. Like getting in the studio with Sam Bloor and Johnny at Lower Lane was a huge positive, huge change for us. We did that pre-production day and opened our eyes to what we could do better in the songs. And I see that as a real change in the album's writing. A lot of it was already written, but we had the opportunity then to go away and improve on that. And we took the opportunity, and that was a cool moment to be like, everyone felt focused. Everyone felt like we were sort of pulling in the same direction, properly, like heading towards the studio. And yeah, that was a cool moment. Like seeing it all come together. It was stressful, but it was super fun at the same time.
The lead up to going into the studio is a massive challenge, especially like when you guys like us who have got families and everything. So like we're there for 3 weeks. There was 1 week a gap and then another 2 weeks afterwards. So like we're away from jobs, we're away from our families and everything, and not just that. Like in the weeks leading up to going to the studio, I'm up till like 2 a.m. exporting stems and getting all of that together. So like even before you like rock up at the studio, like I'm already exhausted by it, and then you've got to sit down and you've got to track everything properly. You're up against the clock, so I don't, people that haven't recorded an album might not realize what an undertaking it is, just, personally.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's a lot on everyone's shoulders, really. Like
Yeah.
Dave, our bass player, like he was so nervous about getting his parts right. He was like, the same as me. He was, up into the early hours, like for
Mhm.
weeks in advance, just like drilling the parts in and everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, the whole thing is just a challenge. Recording an album is a massive challenge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So for this question, I want you guys to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Crisps,
You have a specific flavor of crisps,
all
chips?
all crisps, but salt
Oh,
and vinegar crisps in particular.
Mhm.
But
yum.
yeah, I'm a massive crisps fan.
Yeah.
Salt and vinegar crisps, any like chili crisps and stuff like that. Well, you guys would obviously be calling them chips, right?
Yeah.
Chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll call them crisps for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have said petrol station too, because that's what you guys got, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. See, I know.
I'm going to say I've got this thing for Reese's peanut butter cups at the moment. That would be top of my list. I don't know why. It's by nowhere near my favourite chocolate, but just, when you go through moments with snacks and you're like, that's my thing at the moment. And I'm just big on Reese's currently. And probably I'm going to be really boring and say water. I love drinking water, so I'm going to be super boring
Reese's
to say
and
that.
water.
But Reese's
Yeah.
and water. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
most rock and roll, unfortunately, but that's what I'm going for.
Solid though, classic. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Curry.
Curry?
It's curry. Yeah, that's like if we ever decide to go out for like to a restaurant, we would like to try different things, but a good curry can't go wrong. And what would we be? Like we're not like the spicy, like super harsh. Like I see like a really spicy curry is like a grindcore band, just like pummeling you and just like really really fucking with you.
Mhm.
We're probably more like a tikka masala with
Ooh.
a sprinkling of chili on top, maybe.
Mhm.
Like so. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Chicken tikka masala with a sprinkling of chili.
You got any
Sounds
coriander on the top of that, or
Yeah, that's the singing. That's you, mate. That is. Yeah, that's the
thank
clean
you.
vocals on top
Oh,
to
look
cool
at
it
The
that.
all
bit
down.
that some people can't stand.
Oh,
It tastes like soap. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I love cilantro, so I got you.
Go through all the terms we all say differently here. Yeah, cilantro.
Yeah.
Sorry for.
Yeah, no, it's all
listeners.
good.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Burger and a beer.
Nice.
Solid.
All reliable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just it's go to. If you're somewhere and you're unsure, you go for a burger. But when you get a good burger, like there's sometimes not a lot better. So yeah, a burger and a beer.
Hell yeah.
Mine will be a curry. It'll be like a chicken jalfrezi, and then we'll go a wheat beer, like a hoegaarden or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Solid. Fuck yeah. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, I play quite a lot of video games, so I've got to think about this.
Yeah. It's a question for you then.
What about you, Carl?
Jamie's
Or something about it?
I was going to answer yours for you because Jamie plays a lot of those like simulator games. So I'm surprised
Oh, yeah,
Jamie's
yeah.
not said like Power Wash Simulator or like Lawnmower
Yeah.
Simulator or something like that. Like that's the kind of thing I'd expect Jamie to say.
You like PC building simulator, Jamie?
Yeah,
something like that.
I did. I had to go on that.
Yeah.
It did get a little bit repetitive.
Yeah, I've sunk way too many hours into that, and then it did start to get a little repetitive.
Yeah, it is a good game, especially if you've got like a podcast on or something. Like it's such a good time killer. Or like I got, especially over lockdown, I got super into like Euro Truck Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna mention the truck simulator. I've been watching
man.
like Super Mega. I don't know if you know Super Mega. I've been watching
Right.
them play that shit. Oh my god, it's so good. I
Dude.
want to become a trucker after seeing that. But I
I know
not built
about
for
it
that
through.
life.
There's another streamer called Limmy who was doing loads of trucking. So yeah,
Yeah.
I did roam to Helsinki once, like during lockdown, just like
Yeah.
getting hammered,
Mm-hmm.
driving a you know.
That's the best part
on a
about the
truck.
simulator games. You can just get absolutely hammered and be
Exactly.
operating a vehicle.
No risk. Yeah.
The drink drive. Yeah, it's
Mm.
yeah, it felt bad. But
I'm
good.
sure.
It feels a little illegal, but
Wrong.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have one. Fictional world. I don't know. I played a bit of Assassin. I'm not really into like sort of RPG games if we're going that sort of thing, but like I have played Assassin's Creed recently and got into that. Typically, like video game wise, I'm like sports only, so like UFC or like FIFA or something. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty boring after a while if I was just constantly in a football simulator and that was my life. Or the UFC getting beaten up constantly. So I'm going to say, yeah, like Assassin's Creed or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Solid.
Most video game worlds, you don't actually want to be trapped in them anyway. Like Fallout, for example. Like
Oh.
exactly. So
It's funny because we get a lot of people saying Fallout, and I'm always like, hell yeah. I don't know why you picked that, but hell yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I try not to yuck other people's yums because we get like a bunch of fucking crazy dangerous games. And I just have to nod and say, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds fun.
GTA. Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah, especially GTA. Hell no, man. Not built for that life.
So risky business
Yeah.
Exactly.
at all
Yeah.
times.
And I've not asked the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Red.
it was used to be blue, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
What's changed?
So,
Jamie can't decide on anything today. You're so indecisive today, Jamie. It's unbelievable. No
got a lot
favorite
going on.
track. No 3 words for the album. No favorite color. It's like a
that
basic question.
the 3 words
going
thing
on?
that blindsided me. Like I was the fog was like
Yeah.
dense. Black. It's black, isn't it?
So black, I don't
Is
count
black
as
a
a
color?
color. No.
See, this is what I'd say. I thought you guys would push back and be like, "Yeah, it's not color." Like,
Is it? What is it? A shade?
It's like the absence of color.
Isn't
The
it all
absence of colour
colors
is fine.
together?
Hmm?
Isn't black like all colors? Like if
I
you
thought that
were
was
to
white.
no, like it
Oh, I
say
could
that
get my
you say
lore
that you
wrong.
had like all your watercolors out and like you got a bit on your brush of all of them, you'd end up with black.
I think you're thinking about it's too deep, man.
Black is created by combining multiple colors, so it can be considered the presence of all pigment colors. But black can also be described as the absence of color. So we're both
Oh.
right and wrong. It's a toss-up. We got nowhere with that, honestly.
It means you can't bully what you would consider a real color out of him because he's kind of right.
Yeah, but that's like saying rainbow
I
is
like
your
all
favorite
colors
color.
equally.
Exactly. You know what? This one time, because we did fuck you up a little bit with the 3-word question, I'll let you have black. I'll let you have.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Yeah,
The album.
Dave Albert,
Yeah, go on, Carl.
Chemical Well, 15th of November. Just thank you to everybody that's been sharing like kind words about it so far. It's a complete shock and surprise to us, and we're all suffering from imposter syndrome daily from what's happening at the moment. But alongside that, we're so excited to get it out and for everybody to hear it, and we hope everybody enjoys it. But yeah, Chemical Well, 15th of November out on 3 Dot, and yeah, thank you very much for having us on today, guys. We really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Also, just before we go, I'm really sorry to Chet because I only know him as Chet.
It's not
Yeah, just an apology.
So
Yeah.
sorry,
yeah.
Chet.
Shout out Chet.
Oh, chat. Well, thank you, sounds guys. It's been Jamie and Carl from OBEYER, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.